Hello, welcome back to my network. I'm with Kari Vuhtanen, the CEO of Endomines, a Finnish gold producer listed in Helsinki. Kari, good to see you.
Thanks, Peter. Great to be here.
Just let's kick things off. Look, you're listed in Helsinki, you're based in Finland. Not everyone is going to be aware of who you are just yet. Hopefully things change after this interview. More people will be familiar, but where's the company? Who is the company? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, well, we have Endomines we are listed in Helsinki, like you mentioned, and our operations they are in Karelian Gold Line in Eastern Finland, and it's a very potential area actually for gold production and gold exploration. And in the area we have a underground mine, we have 2 open pits, and then we have a mill. We are producing gold. Last year we increased the production by approximately 50% to 13,000 ounces. Then we are doing a lot of exploration in the area. Excellent results, really good results, and we have a resource base of 310,000 ounces in the Karelian Gold Line, and we want to increase it to more than 1 million ounces in a short-term future. We also have some assets in the USA, 5 assets in Idaho and 2 in Montana. There we are looking for a partnership model. And then one of the key focus areas is ESG. So we want to do things right, take care of the environment, take care of our people, partners, and the people who live close to the site.
Good. All right. So main focus at the moment really is you're ramping up production in terms of the amount of ounces that you'll produce in Finland. Yeah. There's a lot of exploration going on at the moment, from what I understand, trying to grow the reserve base. And then obviously in the US, you're now looking for JV partners and sort of divest those to an extent. Why don't we focus first of all on Pampalo, the core asset? Because obviously last year I think you got this back into production midway through 2022, didn't you?
Late 22.
Or late 22. So you've had a whole year of production now. So last year you produced around 13,000 ounces. Yeah. Why don't we just talk about the financials of last year? Because I think I think last year, given it was a startup and a ramp up period, and you're still sort of through that period, it was a bit more of a demonstration year. Whereas I'd like to get my head around really what this year looks like. But I think to understand that, maybe we should go over last year and then we can, I guess, make some assumptions about this year.
Yeah. We had we still have a structure where there is the Pampalo production, then we have the USA and exploration. So if we think about the financials, it's different segments. And in Pampalo last year, our EBITDA was 17%, so it increased from 5% to 17%. So we are quite happy about that, but it's still something that we want to improve a lot. And we have because we have built the company structure so for the future really that when the production volumes are higher, and then the USA there is a different kind of structure. So the corporate office is fairly heavy for this current structure, but I think in the future the Pampalo production will be very much creating cash, which covers also the other parts of the company. So 17% EBITDA, the group EBITDA was, our revenue was close to 20 million, and the group EBITDA was minus 0.7. So we were getting close to the zero. But we are still investing a lot, so main focus is that we really get the company to a different size category, that we invest in exploration. Once we have a higher resource base, then we start to plan for the increases in the production levels and take the company really to different size category.
And so how does that work? So in terms of the production level at the moment, you must have a mill in place as it is, and you're producing. Are you producing doré or?
No, we have a flotation circuit and we have a flotation concentrate that we sell to Boliden.
Okay, so you have the capacity to create concentrate as it's out. What's your max capacity with the infrastructure on site? And I guess even looking further forward, I know we really need to spend a bit of time looking at the exploration story here, but as it stands, what could this look like?
It could be 30,000 ounces without any investments. So the mill is higher. The current, like we have one underground mine, and then we have two open pits. Like one we opened just in the beginning of February. So the aim is that now when we have more places where the production comes from, we can also increase the production levels.
Okay, and let's talk about sort of throughput at the moment. So what's the grade? What sort of production levels are you aiming to achieve this year?
We produced last year close to 13,000, and this year the guidance is that we increased by 15 to 35%. And then we also reach a level later this year where the production runs at 20,000 ounces. So that's the goal. And like we have also stated that the beginning of the year will be smaller production than later this year.
Okay, and well, I guess for those looking at this, how profitable are those ounces? What sort of AISC are you looking at per ounce?
Well, it really comes from the volume. Like we have, like if we compare 2022, where we had the first production, the cash cost was without excluding investments was 1,500 euros actually. But then now when we increased the production by close to 50%, then it was 1,280. So we really expect that when we increase the production levels, also the cost of the production will decrease.
Okay, that makes sense. So talk about the reserves in the ground at the moment, because again, we do need to go on to the exploration strategy because this is important in terms of building up these numbers. But what about the actual ounces that we know about that are in the ground at the moment? How long as well is the current mine life among the ounces that you're aware of?
We work in a way because we are fairly deep underground, and most of the production comes from the underground mine. So we work in a way that we always drill 60 or 80 meters below the production level, and then we mine the level, and then we drill the next levels. So there is usually 3 years of reserves and then additional resources. But then once we go a little bit deeper, then we drill the next level, and it continues. It has been there is no indication that it wouldn't continue to lower levels.
Good. Okay. And what's the current depth? What's the widths? What's the grade?
We are close to 900 meters below surface, and underground it's 3 grams. Okay. And then the open pit, it's one of the open pits, it's 1.4. The other one is it's just starting, but I would say somewhere to 2.5 to 3.5.
In the open pit?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say it's just starting, is that as in more exploration work needs to be done, or the open pit?
No, we started production 1st of February.
Okay.
So it's just starting. It's a small open pit, but it's anyway increasing our production.
Okay. And why don't we pull up a map of the actual licenses? Because I think what would be quite good is actually just understanding what's where, and I guess what the main priorities are in terms of where you're putting the drill bit, and then also where you're pulling ounces from at the moment. So we'll do that.
We are operating in the Karelian Gold Line, and it's approximately 50 kilometers long, and we have 87,000 hectares of permits or reservations and so on. So it's very much controlled by us. There is nobody else. And the production is in the place called Pampalo, where we have the mill, we have underground mine, and then we have the 2 open pits. And now we have done a lot of exploration, what we call is a southern line, and that's those difficult Finnish names, Karelian Gold Line in the south. But there we have something like 150,000 ounces now resources. And then we started now open pit, which is called Hosko, the one at the top. That's 15 kilometers from the main mill. And then we also do exploration a little bit further north. There is really nice results actually now up north.
Okay, so obviously in terms of drilling, what have the results looked like so far that you've been looking at?
We have actually really exciting results, especially in the southern line. So we are looking at 20 kilometers south from the mill. It's a place called Kuittila. These names are very difficult, but there, the first hole we actually drilled, we hit 80 meters of 5 grams per ton gold, and it's on the surface also, and there is silver and lead and zinc. So it's very exciting results, and we increased the drilling campaign. Our plan was to make like a 2,000 meters, but we increased it to 5,000 immediately, and we got some really nice results. 10 meters, 17 grams per ton, and really nice. Actually, the overall results were really promising, and now this year we will continue because we only had short holes that we drilled. So this year we actually started the year that we started to drill below the existing resource. So we drilled 500-meter holes below the existing resource, and waiting for those results. Should get those in April or May.
Okay, good. All right, so some assays to come back.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the current exploration model as it stands, looking into the rest of 2024 and beyond at this point. Where do you think you're going to be able to not only just find high-grade gold, but actually focus on where you can put some wireframes around it and add this into actually producible ounces?
Yeah, that's the challenge in the area, because there is a lot of potential, and everywhere we sort of go, there seems to be something. And we have a model where we have the early phase exploration. So we have 4 people who take samples just from the ground, and then we use ionic leach methods and just have a look if there is any potential in the area. Then the next phase is this kind of base of till samples. So we have machines that go into certain areas and have a look if there is gold in the base of till samples, and if there is, then we start the drilling. And we did last year 2,000 base of till samples, and now we are drilling the places where we got some nice results. And it's mainly two locations. Like there is a existing production facility called Pampalo. Then at the north we did the base of till samples, and there is a lot of potential that we will do this year. And then at the south there is this southern line where we have 150,000 ounces resources that was increased. It was doubled last year. So that's where we will drill, I would say, maybe 8,000, 10,000 meters this year. So we really want to focus on drilling in 2 places, north and south from the mill, and then continue to take the base of till samples and the samples that we analyze for the ionic leach.
Okay, so obviously base of till is, I think a lot of people who look at Finland in terms of exploration look at a company like Rupert Resources, who obviously found the Ikkari deposit through base of till. You know, a few years later it turned into a 4 million ounce deposit. Is there any indication? Obviously you're in a different geological terrain. You're a bit further south and to the east from where they are. Is there any indication of large-scale deposits in the area that you're currently drilling in? Because obviously at the moment you're talking about sort of smaller open pit mines and the underground. But is the target here just to add incremental ounces, or is it to really go and find something of scale that could be, you know, justifiable in terms of building a mine itself around?
Yeah, we will. That's the goal. We want to find a large-scale deposit, and that's the goal, because there is a long history. There was in the 80s and 90s, the Geological Survey of Finland was doing a lot of work in the area, and then also the steel company Outokumpu was doing a lot of work. And when Outokumpu exited the mining and focused on steel business, then nothing was done basically, and the Pampalo deposit was found, and Endomines was focusing on Pampalo, and then later in the US. But now we have really gone to look for the old data, and there is really promising samples that we're taking in the 80s and 90s, where there is base of till results with significant grades of gold. So we are going through those areas and then taking more samples. And it seems to be that there really is potential for large deposit. Like our aim is to find a location of where we have more than 1 million ounces in one area that we can mine. And then we increase the production to 100,000 or more.
Okay. And how modular is the current plant? Say, for example, look, obviously it takes a while to drill these things out and get to those points most of the time, but obviously it helps that you have all the infrastructure there.
Yeah.
Obviously 30,000 ounces, if you were ever to be able to expand this, how modular is it, or would you need to build completely new infrastructure, or can you just bolt it onto what you already have?
Well, that's something we are evaluating. Like most likely we will have the existing, like if you think about long term, we will have the existing plant near the underground mine, and then in the south, we are making, we have started the permitting process, so we are doing the zoning, like that needs to be done. Then we are doing the environmental studies, environmental impact assessment. This year, just last week, I was talking with the state that they also reserve in the zoning like these large electricity networks and so on. So the infrastructure is good, but just in case we need a lot of electricity, so that's something that we want to also secure. So most likely we will have the existing plant and then probably another one in the south, I would say. And the plan is that we permit like a large plant, for example, 120,000 ounces or something, and then build it in phases. So 40,000, 40,000, 40,000, for example. That once we have 500,600,000 ounces, then we build the first phase and continue exploration, build the second phase, and so on. Because there is a lot of potential in the area. Well, like we truly believe that there is a potential for several million ounces in the area.
Good. Okay. So obviously permitting process in Finland, it probably helps that you have an existing facility and you're in production, and obviously you're a proven operator. But that, from memory, takes what, about 2 years, the permitting process?
I think it will take longer. Okay. Most likely it will take longer. But to me it doesn't matter. Like like we see it in a way that if you think about, for example, the main thing is that we continue the exploration work, start the permitting early, and make it so big that it actually can handle, like once the exploration brings the results, and then we truly believe that you can see it also in the shareholder value when the roadmap becomes clear, like when people start to see that there is actually gold in the area and they have plans to build it and it's in the permitting and it should be permitted in 2-3 years, then we believe that it will create also shareholder value.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense in terms of working on tandem. You don't want to find all of this stuff and then have to wait a very long time afterwards, right? So you have it all set up. But I guess now the pressure on is finding these deposits of scale, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can again revert back to a MAC, but what's the current exploration model looking like in terms of the amount of drilling that you're anticipating, and really where are the top targets for you at the moment where you think you are possibly going to be finding those sort of deposits?
It's in the southern line area where we doubled the ounces last year, and like this year we plan to drill overground maybe 18,000 meters, underground 10,000. So we have a fairly large exploration budget for our size company, and it's fully funded. We have our shareholders are fully supporting our strategy, and it's also like what we have found is that the more you do the drilling, it's like a snowball. You have you create more options.
Then you need to do more drilling, yeah.
Yes, you create more options, and it's also funny when you do this base of till sampling. Like now we have, for example, this Kuittala deposit, and then it's open to north and west and south, and it's a fairly large area. So we did a lot of base of till sampling, and had a look how it goes, how it could continue. And once we did it, it clearly opens new possibilities. You start to find gold, traces of gold somewhere further away, and so on. So we truly believe there is a lot of gold in the area.
Good. Okay. And you were talking about you had good financial back in there, because a lot of the problem with junior mining is obviously it's expensive work, and a lot of the time you have to keep going back to the market and back to the market. And if you haven't had success, or it varies, and then there's cyclical cycles, and obviously we're in a pretty good gold market right now, so that shouldn't be a problem. But how much cash in the bank at the moment, and how much will obviously these 20,000 ounces that you're aiming to achieve at Pampalo now be that you'll be funding exploration through cash flow rather than go into the market, for example? It sounds like you, maybe I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're pretty much at that stage now where you should, in theory, now be able to sort of stand up your own two legs and support yourself moving forward with this drilling.
Yeah, it's you're absolutely right. Like it has been a absolutely huge change. Like if you think about where we started from and last year and this year, and the production is increasing, we are creating more revenue, and the gold price is supporting the growth and so on. But we also have the owners who very much support the strategy. Like I think that's we are lucky in that sense that we have like when we started the strategy 2 years ago. We haven't changed it, and we have executed according to the plan, and everyone is happy and they are supporting. And so if we need funding, then we have sources of funding available. So that's a positive thing. We haven't published how much we now have cash, but we just raised 3.8 million, and that's for the exploration.
Okay, but would it be right to assume that given this year production levels will be up, that you'll be net positive cash flow, would you say, this year?
I think we are yes, I think we are very close to that, yes.
Even with the exploration costs sort of tied in, so is it from the, obviously EBITDA last year on smaller production level at a lower gold price, you were still very, very close to break even, right? So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think.
No, it's not. It's not like it's maybe it's the thing that we have exploration is a very interesting area, and how it has gone is that we have increased the exploration volume. Like when the business has grown, we have also increased the exploration and expenditure, and that's why we have required funding, because there is we want to. Our target is really to have a deposit which is over 1 million ounces and fairly fast.
Yeah,
because we see that that's the way to bring shareholder value. So we are investing a lot.
In terms of the final product, we were talking about concentrates earlier, but in a rather novel way, you're not just creating a product and shipping off and thinking of never seeing it again. You're looking at a different way of sort of, I guess, downstream in the gold business in a way, and I wouldn't mind getting a bit more on that.
Yeah, we have a vision. It hasn't realized yet, but we have a vision that we have like when we have this gravimetric gold that we would partner with jewellery designer and design Finnish gold from Pampalo, Finland, and produced in a sustainable way. We really believe that there is a value for that, because if you give a gift to somebody, for example, and it's always nice to get gold as a gift, but it would be even nicer to get gold from Finland, produced in a sustainable way. You know where it's from, and there is a story behind it. And Finland is a good place actually to produce metals. So that's something that we want to do.
Is this mainly just looking at the domestic market? So and I guess from the business perspective, if you're then creating the jewelry as well for a subsidiary or for a partner company, then there's a higher margin on that, I'd assume.
Yeah, there is we believe there is a higher margin, but it's also I think it creates value through the image also, and people know who we are and where the gold comes from and what is produced. from our product. So
Good. Okay. All right. Well, before we get too ahead of ourselves, why don't we have a look at really what you're expecting the key milestones to be over the next 12 to 18 months, because I think that's quite a nice way of tidying this up in terms of not only recognizing the achievements that you have made to get to where you are now, but really, I think you're at this inflection point really where you're ramping up, you're exploring, you're going to divest the other assets, which hopefully will either create growth or spin out opportunities or anything else. So talk us through the next 12 months, 12, 18 months. What if, say, for example, we were sitting here in this time next year, what do you want to be able to tell me that's happened?
Well, we want to, we will continue to implement the strategy. So increase the production in Finland. That's a number one in a way, that it creates the base for the cash flow and basis for the revenue and our business. And we want to increase it this year by 15 to 35%, and also get to the level that the plant is running at 20,000 ounces. So then we can go beyond the 20,000 level next year. Then one is the exploration. So increase the resource base that we have in the Karelian Gold Line. Get closer to the 1 million ounces level. That's something that we will invest heavily. And it's mainly in the south where we have significant results already. So increase the size of the deposits that we have in the south. Then we want to find a solution for the USA. So what do we do with the assets? And that's something that we have negotiated quite a while now. But we believe it can be we can find a solution that is good for our owners and good for the partner as well. So. And the gold market is very much supporting that at the moment. And then the ESG, continue the work that people think we are good player, responsible player in the area, and work together with the people that live close by and our partners and take care of the environment. So if we have achieved all that, then I'm happy.
Good. All right. Well, I'm hoping we'll come back in a year's time well, hopefully before then, but in a year's time, I'm hoping you'll be able to say to me, yep, tick, 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 we've done it. Kari, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.